welcome. You're watching the Newshour Agenda. I'm Padmaja Joshi. What a day it has been, and who would have thought that we would see a day when a section of Indians would be happy, practically jubilant at India being embarrassed internationally. But it happened, and such are the times that we live in. It all started when IFFI's jury head for the international competition section in the Goa festival, Nadav Lapid, tore into the Kashmir Files on the closing day of the 9-day event. He called the film propaganda, vulgar, and inappropriate for an artistic competitive section of a prestigious film festival. Right at the outset, first listen in to what Mr. Lapid has said, which has kicked off such a firestorm.
All of us disturbed and shocked by the 15th film, by the movie Kashmir Files, that felt to us like a propaganda, vulgar movie, inappropriate for an artistic competitive section of such a prestigious film festival. I feel totally comfortable to share openly these feelings here with you on stage, since the spirit that we felt in the festival can surely accept also a critical discussion, which is essential for art and for life.
Soon after, there was almost a celebration in India based on what Mr. Lapid had said. Many exulted, saying, wow, India stands exposed and embarrassed because of what an Israeli filmmaker has said. And all of this has happened on a government platform, a government-organized film festival, no less. This one comment, we were told, was enough proof that Kashmir Files was nothing more than a propaganda project of the Modi government, and that they have been called out on their own events platform. Even when IFFI jury co-members, filmmakers, Israeli diplomats publicly decried and denied the claims that had been made by Lapid, the cheerleaders were not to be satisfied. Their sole consolation and entire argument was, India has been shown its place. What a great day.
तो ये जो बात है कश्मीर फाइल्स के बारे में, ये सच है। अगर कोई व्यू ने कहा होगा, मैं तो अभी इतना ही देखता हूँ कि जिस तरह से प्रोपेगेंडा हुआ था एक पार्टी का और एक पार्टी के खिलाफ, उसके लिए फिल्म बनाई थी, और एक पूरी पार्टी, पूरी सरकार, जहाँ जहाँ बीजेपी की सरकार है, वो उस प्रचार में लगा। लेकिन ये सिनेमा आने के बाद कश्मीर में सबसे ज़्यादा किलिंग्स हुई है।
जब ये कश्मीरी फाइल फिल्म को सरकार के निगरानी में बना के उसको दिखाया, इसका फिल्म को प्रमोशन करने के लिए हमारे कंट्री के होम मिनिस्टर और प्राइम मिनिस्टर खुद लग गए थे। अब शर्मिंदा कर दिया। अब ये आरएसएस वाले, विश्व हिंदू परिषद वाले या बीजेपी वाले, पता नहीं इनको क्या हो गया, हमारे फिल्म इंडस्ट्री को भी बर्बाद कर दिया।
कश्मीरी फाइल जो है निहायत ही बेहुदा, वाहियात और इरेशनल मूवी, जैसे जर्मनी की नाजी जर्मनी में के ज़माने में एक प्रोपेगेंडा मंत्रालय हुआ करता था जो हिटलर के बारे में प्रोपेगेंडा करते थे। ये उसी तरह का भारत में एक नया चलन है जिसका पार्ट है कश्मीरी फाइल फिल्म।
However, once the dust had settled and Lapid was called out by his own countrymen as someone who made the comment purely as political propaganda and misused India's hospitality, actor Anupam Kher actually made a startling suggestion. Speaking to Times Now, he said that what Lapid had said wasn't off the cuff, that it wasn't something that happened in the heat of the moment. He said that all of this was planned and orchestrated in order to embarrass India at the behest of a few.
His toolkit gang are happy. Before he could finish the statement, already उस गैंग के लोगों ने सेलिब्रेट करना शुरू कर दिया था कि देखो हमने कैसे इस आदमी का पूरा इस्तेमाल किया है। तो ऑब्वियसली इनको कहीं ना कहीं तो कश्मीर फाइल्स ने चोट पहुंचाई है, इनके मुद्दे को, इनके मकसद को, इनके एजेंडा को। कहीं ना कहीं इनको ये धक्का लगा है कि हमारा जो हमारी जो पृष्ठभूमि हम बना रहे थे, जो हमारा नैरेटिव था, वो खंडित हो रहा है कश्मीर फाइल्स फिल्म की सक्सेस से। दे हैव द एजेंडा, their agenda is vulgar, their agenda has full of propaganda, because that's what this is the perspective they want to show to the world. उनकी फितरत में कहीं ना कहीं एक ऐसी प्रवृत्ति है। कैन यू इमेजिन वो अपने साथ कैसे जीते होंगे? ये मेरे को तो 1-1.5 साल तक ये टूल किट गैंग का पता ही नहीं था। इंस्टेड ऑफ सेलिब्रेटिंग सिनेमा एंड द जीनियस ऑफ, मैं भूल जाता हूं चलो कि विवेक अग्निहोत्री ने कमाल की फिल्म बनाई है, बट जिस मुद्दे पे बनाई है उसको तो कम से कम उसके प्रति तो थोड़ा सा सेंसिटिविटी दिखाएं. ठीक है, ऐसे भी लोग जीते हैं, पर हमारे लकीली देयर आर सो मेनी पीपल who have also lashed out at this person. Look at the support that we have got on social media. ये भूल जाते हैं कि इससे देश के कुछ लोग और बहुत सारे लोग और जुड़ते हैं और इकट्ठा होते हैं और इनके सामने इनको बताना चाहते हैं कि हम कितने सब एक साथ हैं, एकत्रित हैं.
So here's the thing, this isn't about the merits of Kashmir Files or otherwise. Its performance in the box office is enough of a statement. People want to watch it, whether for its content or about its issue. It's entirely their choice, and anyway in our country we are told if you don't like it, don't watch it. What I really want to talk about today is what prompts anyone to celebrate the embarrassment to one's own country. Why would people in India take the word of one man, one Israeli filmmaker, over that of Israel's official diplomats? They don't believe it's government. They will say, no, this filmmaker is the real truth speaker. Why can Israeli diplomats who we've spoken to through the day, past and present, actually see Nadav Lapid's statement for what it is? His own agenda-driven propaganda, but our own countrymen can't see through it. Or is it that they can actually see everything, but they'd rather gloat at the embarrassment that India has been caused, because that's what their politics has been reduced to.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining us on the debate, Rishi Bagri, political analyst, Tushar Gupta, senior editor of Swaraj, Anirban Banerjee and Vivek Srivastav, also both political analysts. But my first question is to Qamar Zaman Chaudhary, leader of the Congress. Sir, can you explain to me why was everyone so happy? It is like we had another Diwali.
Good to have a 365 days Diwali. You know something, Padmaja, we Indians, myself, you call me an ecosystem, a tukre gang or whatnot.
I didn't call you anything. I literally didn't use any of the words, sir. Please don't self-victimize. I didn't say ecosystem.
Anyhow,
I didn't say tukre gang. ये जबरदस्ती का victim card क्यों खेल रहे हैं?
No,
I introduced you as a congressman, and that's what you are.
Okay, let me finish, please. But ultimately, you know, it needed an Israeli to call out the state-sponsored propaganda, leaving you know, many of the propagandists frothing at the mouth. The Israeli jury, did he ever mention that he denies the genocide or the killing of innocent Pandits that happened in Kashmir Valley in the 90s? He never did this.
Sir, I'm asking,
in
okay,
fact,
so you're saying he's basically calling out propaganda. So you're saying that Mr. Lapid is a truth teller. You believe everything that Mr. Lapid says, correct?
No, I never said that. I never said that. Here there is an ulterior motive that has come out the last 2 days. You know, you need to understand. The Hindutva forces of India, the Zionist forces of Israel, they are coming out together in defending a film. The film, the Kashmir Files, is not representative.
I'm sorry, are you calling the government of Israel a Zionist force?
In the first case. Yes, of course it is. Our stated policy was that. We never had a pact all along.
I'm sorry, are you saying that as a congressman,
now suddenly,
you are saying that the government of Israel is Zionist? And by the way, since you are saying that he is calling out Israel and India for what it is, let me quote to you the views of Mr. Lapid from an interview that he has given to Now magazine in 2019. He says, the deepest essence of Israeli existence is false and rotten. Israeli men, muscular, smiling, don't raise any questions. They are extremely proud of being Israeli. Total dichotomist vision of existence, us versus others. Are you saying that as a member of Congress, you believe that the deepest essence of Israeli existence is false and rotten?
Can the Palestinians get their motherland?
I'm asking you, You
It
are
cannot be
saying
just a
that
narrative. We
आप
cannot build
इत्तेफाक
up a
रखते
monopoly
हैं
on
with
a
everything
narrative
Mr.
as
Lapid
complex as
says.
this one.
Do you
No.
as an individual and a congressman believe that the
No,
very
I don't.
existence
I
of
don't.
Israel
I'm not
is
a
rotten?
spokesperson. I never said that. Don't try to generalize what I am going to say or what I have said out here. I said the Hindutva ecosystem of India and the Zionist ecosystem of
to
Israel
hell with the
have
Hindutva
combined together
ecosystem.
to defend
Today,
the
all of
community.
us are sitting
Never a
here
representative of the
and
Indian
pegging our
that we are.
country's
The narrative that you
existence
are
and
trying to
evaluating
build out
our
is
country
opposing
on the
Vivek
words of
Agnihotri
one
film
man.
is opposing
Mr.
India.
Lapid, I want you to answer if
No,
you
how come-
agree
how
with
come-
Mr. Lapid's analysis of Kashmir Files and of India. Do you also agree with this analysis of Israel as rotten to the core?
His analysis on the Kashmir Files is the only point that I agree
Why?
on. The
Why?
Kashmir Files
You will
is a
agree with what he says
propaganda
about
and a
Kashmir
vulgar
Files.
film.
But why
It
won't
has
you
been
agree with what he
depicted-
says about Israel?
Yes.
Because it
Because I'm
suits
not
you.
his spokesperson.
Because it suits Mr. Chaudhary.
Because it
as
suits
that.
you. So you are like,
No, it
oh,
doesn't suit me. You know-
आदमी गाली
you
दे
know-
रहा है इंडिया
you
को,
know,
great.
The point out
Must
here-
be right.
No.
Mr. Lapid must be believed
No.
because he's
No,
abusing
my
India and he's
simple
embarrassing
point
India.
out
So
here-
great.
No, the gut-wrenching story of the Kashmiri Pandits out here is felt by 135 crores Indians.
Mr. Chaudhary,
but how come
Mr.
one
Chaudhary,
film
Mr.
being
Chaudhary.
criticized is
Sir,
being
I
weaponized
have
as
said at the
being against
outset, this is
India?
not
That is
about the
biggest
merits
question
of the
out here.
film. In
I have
our
got
country,
every right to
luckily,
criticize
we
the
are
film,
still
which is a
allowed a
propaganda
culture
film.
where we are
You
told
have
कि
weaponized
आपको
that
नहीं
Kashmiri
पसंद आ रही है, आप
Pandit
मत
issue
देखिए.
to be
We
anti-Islamic.
said the same thing for Padmavat and we say the same thing for Kashmir
it doesn't-
Files.
Padmavat-
I may not like
Padmavat-
Padmavat,
it doesn't
I may not
happen
like
like this.
Kashmir Files,
It-
but in
it
India the
doesn't-
viewer will
Padmavat-
decide.
No,
However,
Padmavat never
I am
happened like
asking
that.
you,
Padmavati-
why would you
Padmavat never
believe
happened
Mr.
like that.
Lapid's analysis
If
of
we
the
are
film
feeling-
being vulgar, propaganda and unsuitable? Why? Why would you believe that?
Because such a film
No,
has got
Fatma Shah,
repercussions
may I
deep
make
into
a
with,
point?
attached with our emotions as Indians. Every Indian feels for it. But this film should be based on extreme human tragedy. Ideally should have led to reconciliation and reflection.
Okay.
But it did not. What did it result in? Anti-Islamophobic slogans being shouted in cinema halls.
Okay.
That's what happened after the screening of the film.
Absolutely.
It led to more
because after the writing of
more
Anne Frank's diary,
anti-Islamic-
there were apparently anti-Semitic, everything that is anti-Semitic in the world right now must be blamed on why Anne Frank's diary was published, why the pianist was made, why was Schindler's List made, why was the boy in blue pajamas made. So if anything anti-Semitic happens in this world now, it is like Schindler's List क्यों बनाई, अब तो तुम्हें गाली पड़ेगी. तुषार गुप्ता.
Padmaja, the problem with people like Mr. Chaudhary is they will acknowledge the gut-wrenching, what he just said, gut-wrenching pain of the Kashmiri Pandits. He says 135 crore people felt it. But people like Mr. Chaudhary are hypocrites. They will sit here, acknowledge the pain of the Kashmiri Pandits, but the moment someone makes a film about it, the moment someone wants to tell a story 30 years later, which reaches the critical audience, which reaches global audience, they'll have a problem because suddenly the truth is in their open. Their minority-based politics is out as the open and they do not want it. ये एक पूरी टूलकिट है. वल्गर प्रोपेगेंडा तो दो शब्द थे, ये पूरी एक टूलकिट है जो पूरा इकोसिस्टम एक्टिवेट हुआ है कि अरे हम इस मूवी को डाउनप्ले करें. और डाउनप्ले क्यों करें? क्योंकि इस मूवी में सच्चाई है. क्योंकि इस मूवी को देखकर thousands of Kashmiri Pandits, lakhs of Kashmiri Pandits actually made it to the social media, conveyed how they felt about the movie watching it, conveyed how their families were butchered. Some of them were pushed out of the valley in the 1990s. So Mr. Chaudhary, would you say that the Kashmiri Pandits who sobbed, who cried upon seeing the movie, who remembered the ones they had lost in the valley in that exodus, in that violent exodus, they are propaganda tools of the government? Is that what you're going to sit here and tell us? एब्सोल्युटली नॉट। पद्मजा, इनका इकोसिस्टम ना सच्चाई से बहुत डरता है। आज कश्मीर फाइल्स मूवी बनी है, मैं कहता हूं 1 नहीं 10 मूवी बननी चाहिए कश्मीर फाइल्स पे, क्योंकि आज मिस्टर चौधरी हैं, कल मिस्टर चौधरी जैसे 10 लोग होंगे जो 10 साल बाद हमें कहेंगे कि अरे कश्मीर में तो कोई एक्सोडस हुआ ही नहीं था, गोधरा में तो कोई ट्रेन जली ही नहीं थी, 1984 में किसी सिख पर दिल्ली में हमला हुआ ही नहीं था। These are the people who want to rewrite history which suits their political narrative and their political convenience. And today on your show I will call Mr. Chaudhary out. Propaganda नहीं है, सच्चाई है, आप उसको स्वीकार करिए।
Vivek Srivastava, here's the thing. Israeli diplomats have seen through what Mr. Lapid was trying to do, but we cannot see it in India. Why is that? What has the Israeli ambassador to India said? I quote, Lapid should be ashamed. But here in India, we are saying India should be ashamed.
I already know.
Why should India be ashamed?
Yeah, listen. I mean, neither. It's not the question of India being ashamed. And Mr. Vivek Agnihotri and Anupam Kher are not India. India is much bigger. The criticism was of a particular film. An artist, a jury, has a right to criticize, and he said it is being done not with no ulterior motive. He said any film festival should have the openness to allow criticism also. I mean, it was shown on your package. You just
but sir, this was not, first of all, he misused the platform. Let me quote to you what his own countryman and the ambassador of Israel to India has said. You should be ashamed. You have misused the hospitality of India to further your personal opinions.
Sorry, you're wrong. You cannot equate the political appointee who is an envoy with an artist or a filmmaker or a jury.
Oh.
They are different.
So basically you're saying that the ambassador is compromised. Is the ambassador also an agent of the BJP?
The envoy has to echo it. And Mr. Chaudhary was right in saying, no, listen to me. The Israelis, the country, the Israel today is a terror state, and the Palestinians are not getting the due.
Okay, so you have dismissed Israel as a terror state. Rishi Bagri, why would you believe the ambassador of Israel to India? Because Mr. Lapid is the voice of truth. Vivek Srivastava says Lapid is speaking truth to power. Of course, the ambassador, he's just a political appointee. He has to say, be on the right side of the Indian government. Rishi Bagri.
I just want to say, I mean, Vivek ji, please, let me speak.
Why can't he criticize the film?
The problem is that these are the same toolkit. These are the same toolkit gang who were disparaging Akshay Kumar till yesterday by calling him a Canadian citizen. And they were seen cheerleading a leftist Israeli director today for calling us Kashmiri genocide a figment of imagination and calling it a vulgar, inappropriate propaganda. I mean, please let me speak. You have your turn. Let me speak, please. Ironically, he is the same guy. He is the same Hamas sympathizer who attacks his own country when they defend themselves against the Hamas aggression. Now, Padmaja, tell me, ये क्या राजीव, चालीव, गालिव slogans हुआ ही नहीं था कभी. It never happened. Javed Nalka and Vitta Karate never butchered for IF of Indian Air Force officers. BK Ganju blood was never butchered and his blood was never fed to his wife. क्या बकवास कर रहे हैं सर? आप थोड़ा चुप रहिए. आप सच्चाई सुनने की हिम्मत रखिए. अगर सच्चाई सुनने की हिम्मत नहीं है तो आप चुप हो जाइए.
You are absolutely right in saying that Anupam Kher and Vivek Agnihotri is not all of India. But this film is also about thousands, if not lakhs of people who are saying, we find a voice in this film. Now, आपको propaganda लगती होगी. हजारों लोग हैं जिनको लगता है we are being heard. And by the way, it is not just Indians, it is not just Kashmiri Hindus, and it is not just BJP and RSS. Let me also quote to you what Kobi Shoshani, who is the Consul General of Israel to Mumbai, has said. He said, I saw the film, it's definitely not propaganda. The voice of the people of Kashmir needs to be heard. When I saw the film, tears came in my eyes. So you're saying that the Consul General, that Vivek Agnihotri, that Anupam Kher, that Kashmiri Hindus who say that this film gives us a voice are all propagandists?
आप एक आर्टिस्ट से कैसे इक्वेट कर रहे हैं? Freedom of expression कहाँ गया
Padmaja, he doesn't allow to speak anyone. There's no point of having a debate because he's not allowed.
Political appointee को artist से एक second can I please lower your voice for a second. So now the argument is कि एक artist हमेशा सच्चाई बोलता है. आप artist को believe कीजिए ऋषि बागरी. Why are you believing the ambassador? Why are you believing him?
I have no issue, Padmaja जी, I have no issue. अपने उसको भी भूल जाते हैं. बीएल भान को कोई किसी ने मारा ही नहीं था, गिरजा टिक्को को किसी ने मारा ही नहीं था, दीनानाथ मंजू को किसी ने मारा ही नहीं था, बिट्टा कराटे जी ने इंडियन एयरफोर्स के 4 ऑफिसर्स को मारा ही नहीं था, साइंटिस्ट केएल गंजू और उनकी वाइफ प्रेरणा को किसी ने मारा ही नहीं था. लेट्स फॉरगेट दैट. लेट्स अज्यूम कि वो जो एक्सोडस हुआ था वो एक्सोडस हुआ ही नहीं था, वो तो माइग्रेंट वर्कर्स थे जो काम ढूंढते दिल्ली में आए थे. और जो यासीन मलिक था, जो टेररिस्ट था, जो सेल्फ सर्टिफाइड टेररिस्ट था, उसको प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने उसको होस्ट किया था. भाई वो कैसे टेररिस्ट हो सकता है? तो सच्चाई सुनने की इनकी हिम्मत नहीं है. सच्चाई को ये लोग किसी फिल्म मेकर ने सच्चाई दिखाई है तो इनका पूरा इकोसिस्टम हिल जाता है.
Okay, so if you want to believe artistic people, I actually want to play out for you what the director of IFFI has said. What the director of IFFI has said, Ravinder Bhakar, who is the director of the film festival and is a creative person, has said, and I quote, the filmmaker Nadav Lapid has done some external propaganda. How can he particularly target a film out of 22 films that he has watched? Kashmir Files was not selected. This was completely unexpected of us. तो अगर आप क्रिएटिव लोगों को बिलीव कर रहे हैं तो IFFI डायरेक्टर को बताइए. वो तो कह रहे हैं कि अगर कोई प्रोपेगेंडा कर रहा है तो वो नदाव लापिड है. विवेक श्रीवास्तव, उनका प्रोपेगेंडा आपको सच्चाई दिख रही है और एक फिल्म आपको प्रोपेगेंडा दिख रही है, क्योंकि मेरे को जो सूट करता है वो सच है, जो मेरे को अच्छा नहीं लगता वो प्रोपेगेंडा, जो मुझे अच्छा लगे वो सच्चा है, जो मुझे अच्छा ना लगे वो संघी है. क्यों
नहीं, मैं ये कह रहा हूं, all I'm saying is we should have the freedom to praise or criticize. If Padmaja wants to praise, she should be allowed to praise. If Vivek Srivastava wants to criticize and say it is a stupid, bogus, propaganda, cruel, vulgar movie, I should be allowed. Let's not curtail the voice of freedom.
That is great. I am so glad you said that, sir. Because here is what I have to say to people who keep saying कि इस देश के अंदर अब तो डिक्टेटरशिप आ गई है, इमरजेंसी आ गई है. I don't remember the last time that somebody came on a government platform and while he was speaking, Vivek Srivastava, in the presence of ministers, nobody interrupted him. Nobody stopped him. It was an Indian government festival, much as I think that he misused his position, yet it is in India that he can stand here, he can say what he did, and he still remained a respected guest and he left respectably. Tushar Gupta. That is what Indian democracy is. It is an argumentative democracy, but in India, people can come, misuse the hospitality that they are shown, and still leave respectably. Tushar Gupta. And then people like you sit here, Vivek Srivastava, and say कि यहाँ पे तो दूसरी emergency आ गई है.
You know, Padmaja. You know, please, someone needs to mute Vivek Srivastava.
Just 30 seconds, Tushar Gupta, yes.
Speak. Look, अरे चुप करिए, 1 minute बात करने दीजिए. You know, Mr. Srivastava says he's an artistic person, but his criticism of Vivek Agnihotri's work was not about cinematic techniques or how the movie could have been better. It was a very much political criticism. It was made with an intention to stir a political debate, and that is what happened. Let's not confuse that, oh, this was some artistic remark that he made and went. It wasn't. It was a political statement and must be seen as such. And about Mr. Srivastava, you know, on your show, Padmaja, just a couple of months back, Mr. Srivastava said that the Hindus that are being attacked in Leicester are being attacked because there is a Modi government since 2014. So I'm not surprised that he sits here today and calls the pain of Kashmiri Pandits a vulgar propaganda. That's what describes Mr. Srivastava, a politically frustrated man. That's all.
Anirban Banerjee, this is just sheer political frustration that you are looking for validation in anyone who is willing to sit there and embarrass or abuse India. Anirban Banerjee.
First of all, my condolences for the intellect of those who choose to equate a film with an entire country. I mean, this is beyond naive, if anything.
No,
I mean,
no. So the film is not the country and the country is not the film.
They have doubled
but sir, here is a platform which was given by India.
Yes, why are you
and
saying
India was
India?
embarrassed, which is why we are asking the question
So,
about why the glee.
Film
The context is very clear. Yes, now go on.
Then why are you equating the propaganda film with the country?
Nobody is. What we are equating is a government function organized by government of India, which was misused by a foreign guest to further his agenda.
So what?
That is what we are questioning. I don't think you heard me when I said at the beginning, I am not holding any brief for the film, and this is not about the merits of the film. My simple argument is that if today an Indian government's platform was misused for someone's personal propaganda, why do we have people in India cheering it on? That is my limited point, sir.
Did the organizers give a condition that you cannot criticize a film? Kashmir Files is a propaganda film and the person has called out a propaganda to be a propaganda, and now here are people who are beyond naive who want to call Kashmir Files equal to India.
No.
Then why not call Ram Ke Naam the documentary film?
So in our country we have freedom, of course.
With
He had the freedom, he said what he had to. Again, my question is, why are you so happy? Somebody has come and decided to be completely graceless. Why are you so happy? आप क्यों उनके लिए ताली पीट रहे हैं? आपको इतनी खुशी क्यों मिल रही है?
What is graceless?
It reflects badly on him.
What is graceless about calling out a propaganda film?
He has to answer to his own conscience and he has to answer to his own country, who, by the way, is criticizing him.
Here there are many people who are shedding tears for the Kashmiri Pandits. Right now, the Kashmiri Pandits are again getting butchered by terrorists. The BJP government is ruling there.
Sir,
right?
Again,
what is happening?
Let me steer you back to the main issue. Let me just simply show you the kind of difference in reaction. What has been said by the Israelis? Here is what the Israel ambassador has said, the High Commissioner. He says that I was extremely hurt to see reactions in India to you that you're doubting Schindler's List, the Holocaust and worse. I am no film expert, but I do know that it's insensitive and presumptuous to speak about historic events before deeply studying them, which are an open wound in India because many of the involved are still around and paying a price. So Israel is saying, what a horrible thing to do. You are graceless, you have embarrassed us, and you should be ashamed. But in India, we are saying, great job, Mr. Lapid. You are the best thing to have happened to us since sliced bread. I'm asking you, why? Why?
Before Mr. Lapid, there were thousands of people from India within our country who have called out this propaganda film to be a propaganda. Mr. Lapid, a foreigner, he has also expressed his views. Just by the logic, when you said that if you don't like the film, don't watch it. If you don't like his statements, don't hear it. Don't read it. What's the problem?
Gupta. Of course, we didn't hear it.
Views.
Again, the question asking is that being asked is that he would have come, said his piece and left. But he was amplified and he was cheered and he was applauded as the best person to exist on this planet. And that is what the debate is about. It is not about should he have said it, should we make him apologize, should we ban him forever? No. He said it, he misused his position, good for him, he has to only answer to himself and how badly this reflects on him. The question we are asking is of our own countrymen, not of Mr. Lapid. Tushar Gupta.
पद्मजा डूबते को तिनके का सहारा और टूल किट इकोसिस्टम को मिस्टर लैपिड का सहारा. इनको अपनी पॉलिटिक्स को जस्टिफाई करने के लिए एक आर्टिस्ट मिल गया है and they are riding upon his statement to make a point. Mr. Banerjee sits here and says thousands of people in India have dismissed the movie as a propaganda tool. To him, I reply, there are lakhs of Kashmiri Hindus across the globe who have watched this movie, identified with the events that have been shown in it, and said that this was the truth. This was the truth that was hidden for 30 years in mainstream cinema, and we are glad someone has decided to tell the story. So, आपका ये thousands of people have dismissed वाला propaganda यहाँ नहीं चलेगा, ये कहीं और चलाइए.
Okay, I'm just going to end by saying this. Remember, not too long ago, we had President of the United States. We had, in fact, Vladimir Putin from Russia praising India, not Modi, praising India, saying that India is a bright spot in the global economy, that the future belongs to India. And when Putin praised us, we were told, oh, that's only because he wants you to buy arms from him. This has got nothing to do with the ground reality. So Putin is to be ignored. Biden is to be ignored. Australia is to be ignored. But who is to be believed? One filmmaker with a dodgy past and a very clear agenda, he is to be treated as the gospel. Why? Because it suits your politics to embarrass us as a country. Is this what we've come to? Let's think about that. Meanwhile, best of luck to Mr. Lapid for future festivals, for whatever agenda that he has right now. And always remember, maybe this kind of freedom is not something that he would enjoy in other countries. That's what makes India the country it is. Thanks very much, gentlemen, for joining me.